Welcome back to the channel, Classic Volkswagen Lovers, Junior with classic VW Bucks and installing the Super Beetle. So you watched the video, we installed the front disc conversion kit. Today we're going to inspect the rear drum, brake shoes, and make sure that everything is right there. To remove that nut right here, we're going to be using a torque multiplier. That's out. We're going to be looking at to see what's behind this drum and see if there is any type of wear and tear within the brake shoes. And also we're going to check for any possible leaks or any brake line damage. We can take care of that before we proceed to bleed the system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my rubber hammer, give it a couple of whangs. And then I'm going to pull this up, okay? So my idea is to close the adjuster to bring in the brake shoe. Okay, so I got the adjuster right there. Let's see if I can get it out. Okay, that's out. Spray some brake cleaner, take a look at it. So I'm gonna have to put some WD-40 in it, take these out and loop them to make sure that when I need to adjust them, it's gonna be easy. I'm pretty sure this one here is seized. From the back, you're supposed to be able to adjust these gears, and this one here turns, but this one here is not doing anything at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that assembly so that I can clean that. Maybe just wheel wire brush it, make it look nice. Make sure you pay close attention to the way that your springs are installed. So pay attention to details, make sure you install everything back the same way you took it out. Before I remove these here, I'm going to release the tension from this spring here and the brake shoes. I'm going to use a needle nose plier to get this out. I'm going to sit it right there on the floor. Remove the spring with the cup and pin. Then we're going to get this one out. We can take the brake shoes off, and we can take this out. Leave that right there, and we're going to remove that from there off. So this one does turn. We'll take this one here out. So we spray some WD-40, we let it sit for a little while. Then we grab a couple of channel ups and we turn the gear. And you can see that now it's loose, so we can take this out now and lubricate that. We can take this out from here and from here. Lubricate both this and the screw so that when we have to adjust the brake drums, it's easy on us. So earlier when you saw me going under the car, I was actually going through this hole here with a flat screwdriver, and I was trying to adjust the adjusting screw to close the brake shoes so that it would be easy to pull the drum out. Replace this cylinder for a new one. Go ahead, clean all of this here and wheel wire brush that and then spray paint it, and then I'll come back and assemble everything back together. Remove these 4 bolts, loosen this back bolt here from the back to take this cable off, and I already broke loose the brake line. That right there, that's a 11 millimeter wrench, and that's out. A lot of people refurbish these, but they're so inexpensive that to refurbish those can be so time consuming that I'm just going to purchase those new. Okay, let's get this brake cable out of the way. Oh, there we go. There we go. I took that out. I broke the brake line free from the cylinder. Now I'm going to take these out. So I want to go ahead and refurbish these here. Not to mention these are OEM, German made, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that came out. I have a new seal key for that. That'll give me an opportunity to also wire brush this here a little bit and spray paint it. Works. So the back of this is pretty nice and neat. And to replace these here, it's even better to install them with the back plate off, because all you have to do is break that bolt off. That'll come out, and then I can take these, dip them in some of that rusty silver, get some of that clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I'm gonna get that bolt out. I think that's a 13 millimeter. Okay. She's out. Okay. So now we take this guy here, we give it a thorough clean, wire brush it, and we put it back on. We should be good to go. We'll give it a good clean later. That's just to get some of that excess off. We'll take this now, and we're going to set this on top of that. And so I'm going to take some of the it's actually in pretty good shape. Not too bad. I thought it was going to be worse than that. So let's do this. Let's put some here. This one, because it's kind of like a gel type, I spray some over, and then I take a painter's brush, I'll spread it all over where I want it to work and get some of that rusty solve. You want to make sure you don't drop this rusty silver over your concrete surface, because wherever it falls in your concrete surface, it'll make a hole. So we let that there sit for about 30 minutes. Just leave those there and let them be for about 30 minutes. And we can come back and rinse them with some soapy water. And we'll take a wire brush and give it a good wire brush for the time being. That's all I can do right now. Parts, wire brush, and spray paint it. Next, I am going to install the cylinder. Much better to do it there. It's done. The screw adjusters, they go in here. Put a little bit of grease here and here. I'm going to align this right in here. I already have my seals installed there. So that's on. Put this back on here. Get them started by hand. Okay. install the e-brake cable, this little clip here, through here, from this side over, you can see how it fits. There we go. To make sure that this little leaf here, or clip, however you want to call it, sticks through in front of the plate, and now you can go ahead and install that bolt in the back. There's also a clip that installs in a hole under the swing axle. You got to make sure you also put that in place. Okay, that's good right there. Take one of your brake shoes. You're going to grab the e-brake lever, and you're going to insert this little pin here through there. And once you get through, you're going to use a C-clip to hold it in place. I have already done one. When these are new, you have to probably fiddle a little bit with them, because maybe because of the paint, it might just give you a little bit of a trouble trying to get it through, but just, you know, keep working it, just making sure that you're not forcing it. And then you can take your C-clip, just like so. You take your needle, those pliers, very careful, and you close it. Yeah, that should be fine. So we got that. Now we're ready to get the hardware and install that. Next, hook the e-brake cable and align this with these two. My adjusting screws are all the way in. Insert a pin from the back. Now we get one of these springs here, grab one of these cups. So I have this special tool that it's for this type of work. You will just squeeze that in. Pin, brake shoe. We align it, spring with our cup. Install the brake shoes. Use the springs with the cups to fasten them into place. Install this spring over this bar first with the clip from the back side over to hold it in place. Fasten it here first, and then pull the spring to fasten it here. So that's keeping the top portion together against the cylinder. Then we came down here and install this spring here and pulled it with the needle pliers and hooked it right there. So that should be fine. The next step is to install the drum. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of anti-seize here, just to make sure that in the future I won't have any problems pulling it out. Install the drum. Install the nut. Next we're going to install the torque multiplier tool. I'm going to use these two bolts here so that I can use my jack handlebar as a knee brace. So you got to torque this nut to at least 250 pounds. I'm going to be using the torque multipliers. If I set my torque wrench to 30 foot-pounds using this device here, my torque will reach 270 pounds. I have read in my books the torque for this can go from 250 to 266. I'm gonna go ahead and do like 26 pound on this here, and I should be on the ballpark of 250. We're going to be using this handle here as a knee brace, so when I start torquing, that's gonna hold it for me. And we're gonna be using this right here. This is going to be railing here as I torque it. So I gotta go and set my torque wrench. Torque wrench already set. and we're going to start torquing. Well, according to the wrench, we should be at torque right now. Now you remove the multiplier torque wrench and we're set. And now we got to make sure that we can insert our cutter pin. We have come to the end of the rear drum brake tutorial. Next step in the process is to bleed the system. Please do not forget to follow the specs for your car, year, make, and model. If this is the first time you watching my channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, this is Junior with classic VW Bucks and Sonny the Super Beetle. Junior out.